Long ago, there was a prophecy about a musician rising through the ranks. He, who could not sing or write music, would waffle stomp all the PC pussies.
And no, we're not talking about Chad Kroger. Hi Chilli Con Carnage Crew, it's Chilli here, and how are ya? How you been? Let's just see who dropped some new albums, and which one to review, and... This is gonna be interesting. A solo album by former Stained frontman Aaron Lewis. Maybe the prophecies are true. He might be the one. So who is Aaron Lewis? The shortest answer I can give is that Aaron Lewis was the Chad Kroger of nu metal, and that took effort to achieve such animosity in a field filled with notorious figures like Fred Durst. Now he's the Chad Kroger of country music, and that's the short version. The long version is, Aaron Lewis was the frontman for the nu metal band Stained. This band was signed to Flip Records by Fred Durst, who was impressed at a show when they opened for Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst co-produced their first album, Dysfunctional, and they would make it big with the subsequent release, Break the Cycle. In particular with songs like It's Been a While, Outside, So Far Away, and Mud Shovel. After doing that for nearly 15 years, he wanted out to pursue his original passion of music, country music. I'm sure there is a joke in here, but I'll leave it to you guys. As mentioned before, Aaron Lewis was the vocalist for the nu metal band Stained, and he has stated in interviews that he was sick of relentless touring and reliving his shittest times of his life on stage, and since getting older, he doesn't want to continue in these dark, angry, and heavy directions. In hindsight, it's probably not the biggest surprise that he switched to country, as the singles I mentioned before don't really follow the conventional nu metal sound. Most of them were a lot of acoustic-y ballads with some heavy breakdowns, really. Mud Shovel is truly the only song I mentioned that you would call a classic nu metal song. So, fast forward to 2021, and Aaron Lewis has made headlines in a slow news week with his song, Am I the Only One?
Am I the only one not brainwashed?
Why was it newsworthy, you may ask? Well, at the time of the release, it was slated as a fuck you to the Liberals and the protesters of Black Lives Matters protests, and due to it being released just before America's Independence Day, and the subject matter of the song, it became a popular track for the demographic it was clearly targeted for. This was a marketing genius move. Now this song alone deserves an in-depth analysis, but Todd In The Shadows does a really good job at this. So I would recommend hitting up that video after hearing my review. I'll have the link below for YouTube listeners, and for those on Spotify you will have to check out our anchor page, so check it out. In the end, this song boils down to Aaron Lewis being an angry middle-aged white guy who, and I quote, yelling what the fuck at my TV due to, and again, I quote, another statue coming down in a town near you. When you realise he is talking about defending Confederate statues and tearing them down is, according to him, the root cause of everything that's wrong in his country, well, it becomes a big cringe moment.
I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
I mean, if you are listening to this track purely based on politics, you're doing music wrong. It's fine to sing a song about politics. Neil Young did it. System of a Down did it. Bruce Springsteen did it. Rage Against the Machine did it. I don't pump down rodeo purely to remind myself about racial and class warfare. It's a great song that bangs despite the subject matter. Alright, let's hope there aren't any more polarizing tracks in this mix. And shit, I spoke too soon. There's a track called Everybody Talks to God. Well, he has his demographic in mind when he wrote these tracks. Obviously, depending on your faith or abstinence of, this track may come as a blessing, or feel like a Jehovah's Witness at your door. The last track really worth mentioning is They Call Me Doc, which was written with Vince Gill and Dan Tyminski for the Creative Vets charity, which helps soldiers overcome PTSD and other issues. The song chronicles Aaron helping soldiers in dark places despite not really being a doctor. Now, I can understand the song is to address mental health and how much being there and listening can help. I don't doubt that Aaron has helped out in instances, but I can't shake the feeling that he sounds like a glory hog because the lyrics are written about him only. If he didn't include himself in the song and instead made it about the group Creative Vets and how it helps, then I wouldn't be so irritated. But as it stands, it's like he's the only reason why vets are getting better. Other than the tracks mentioned above, the rest is rather generic country music with overused themes like heartache and breakups on Kill Me Like You Love Me and Trouble with the Law on Life Behind Bars. That's the thing with Aaron Lewis and his music. There really isn't any middle ground. It's either black or white, and this is what unravels him. That and his singing voice. While it's better suited for country music, I had to ask myself, was it always this pestilent?
It's been a while since I've gone and fucked it up like I always do.
This album was clearly aimed at his target audience, and sure, if you have a specific audience, then as a musician you can play into them, or you can try and be creative to win new fans over. Aaron Lewis goes for the first option, the path of less resistance, and maybe because the second one was never an option to him. He seems as placid in his current life as he does in his music on this album. Actually, I'd go as far as to describe this music as being contrived. If you enjoy country music and MAGA rallies, then this is the music you would probably be listening to right now, and anything I just said would have pissed you off. But I doubt they have made it this far in. Before you call me out, please note, I still enjoy Ted Nugent and Sweet Home Alabama despite the politics of the song. That's because these tracks rock. Here, the band just goes through the motions. Overall, I think this album ranks at 300,000 chilies, and is a classic example of subpar music written for Republicans who enjoy country music. If you are morbidly curious, give it a spin. But if you are looking for some good modern country music, I would direct your attention to people like Chris Stapleton or Cody Jinks. Thank you for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please consider liking it and sharing it with your friends. And also don't forget to subscribe to our Chilli Con Carnage Crew to stay updated on our newest videos. We're also on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Live Listen Erased. Please join us on those media platforms for all kinds of updates and discussions regarding music. And as always, stay spicy.
Freedom isn't free. No, there's a hefty thug